seconds.
This is Randy Dan's chainmail.
All right, you guys ready? Begin.
I know, I can't handle it. And you know what? They fumbled. He was saying to me,
Stop fight! Yeah.
No. I think you turned the tables in the last 5 seconds. You hit me like 4 times.
All right, ready?
Glad to be here, brother.
All right, start fight. Jump over here, but you got to be far away from this rope.
Good one. Yeah, no thrusting. Yeah.
I think I'm doing a shot. I have my football on. Up, stop fight. Got it? Ready? Resume when they start fighting. Time! Yes, 1 minute. Sorry, huh?
You can stretch that minute as long as you want.
2 extra seconds is fine with one fighter.
I got my place.
Oh, big time. Yeah, pretty much. That's what we've been doing by going up mountain. Kicks our ass.
Like the boys. Isn't it Arsenal?
No.
10 seconds. You ready?
Yep.
Cool.
Begin fight. That's 10:30, guys. Don't worry about it, bro. I'll be back. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time!
This is the Armored Combat League. We do full metal martial arts, basically. Everyone you see here is an athlete. Some of them look it, some of them don't, but they're athletes.
Those of us that have white belts on, we have competed and represented the United States overseas and fought on the USA Knights team. Those of us that don't, they're trying for that team, so they're trying to prove themselves. So folks, what we have here is a fight between two USA Knights. If you have a white belt on, that means that they've represented the United States in the international competition. In the blue tabard is Nicholas Ironside from Colorado. In the yellow and red tabard is Bill, we all call him Bam Bam. You'll see why when he starts the fight, from Arizona.
Kicking arse.
Are you ready? Yep. They're going to fight for 1 minute. Begin.
They're real weapons.
They're real weapons and they're hitting full force. Kicking and punching are allowed. When there's a disarm, we stop the fight just so he can pick up his weapon. And we reset. Did you say 10 seconds? 10 seconds remaining. Let's cheer him on. This is hard work. Woo! Time! Stop fight!
Stop fight! 1 minute rest.
So they get 1 minute to recover their breathing before they have to fight again. They're in 80 pounds of armor. This stuff's hot and heavy. It is really hard to stay in this good a shape and fight that long with this armor. To give you a bit of an idea, if you try to cheer for a minute straight, see how hard it is. A minute seems like a short time, but just try screaming for a minute. So some of the rules they're fighting under, we're not allowed to do a direct thrust because it's too dangerous in our gear. But they can strike, punch, and kick. They can also grapple to try and throw each other down to the ground. In one-on-one fights, usually how we count this stuff is by counted blows. And if they disarm or throw them down, they get 2 points.
Normally they'd go 2 fights out of 3, but they just wore themselves out.
Yeah, in this heat, it's really hard to keep this going. So we got, yes ma'am.
So do they get like bruised or
What?
being struck underneath all that?
Yes, you do get bruises, but this is like leather with metal, and then we have a thick wool padded jacket on underneath it. So you do wear all that to prevent bruising, but it happens. Our most common injuries are broken fingers, because your hands, no matter how
Very
much metal we
difficult
have,
to
your hands
breathe
just
in
take
these
a
helmets.
beating.
So as soon as they're off the field, these guys
Aside
like to
from
take them
that,
off.
occasionally
so
we'll
they
get a
can
concussion if you
get
don't have the
air.
right padding in your helmet. And knee
Combinants, like,
injuries
get
are really
trapped
common, because
inside
in all
those
this gear,
mats.
like if you twist wrong or you get hit,
Unfortunately,
your
it
knees
means
will
it
get
takes them a
twisted.
little while to
But
get
those, that's rare.
situated
It doesn't
again.
happen that often.
And
But
if you
those
have
are
guys who are just about to come on the
the
field,
fingers so
they
that
have to get
they
their helmets back on again, tied in place, and then we can fight.
in this sport, knees are. The back of the knee is not allowed, but you can get struck. Like, see, you can get struck in the front of the knee.
Yeah, go ahead.
Some of us do, and some of us buy. All of it has to be custom fitted for you. It's just like a professional sport. Like, this is all, the more streamlined and better it fits you, the more advantage you have. Oh, thank you.
1 minute.
Hang on, guys.
Let's do one round.
All right, so folks, we're going to do one round of fighting. This is what they have is long sword. On the side with the red and yellow is Mark from New Mexico. Woo! And it's Jesse, right? From New Mexico as well. On the other side is Jesse from New Mexico. Now, Jesse's a bit of an underdog. He's just starting out, and he's going up against a veteran and a USA Knight with Mark. So Jesse's going to need a lot of cheering.
Go New Mexico.
All right, you guys ready? Begin.
Come on, you can't see.
8 up, they can hit anywhere. 30 seconds, they're halfway through the round. They're starting to get tired. It takes a lot of physical fitness.
Keep your hands on your sword, though. For points.
10 seconds remaining. Let's get a last push. You guys are doing great. Stop fight.
Stop fight.
Excellent job. Good.
Are you not entertained?
As I mentioned, those helmets block everything, both blows and sound. So they can't even hear it when we're calling time. That's why we have to get in their faces with ease.
You also can't see very well in those helmets. You just have a narrow side slit. You can't see much below your nose.
One more night.
Hello. Enjoy the fight? So in a little while, we're going to break down into the fight, too.
Oh,
It's a lot of fun. It's part of the armored combat.
Santa Fe. Woo. All right, folks, here we got another USA Knight and Patrick over here from Santa Fe, so he's one of your local fighters. And we have a new fighter named Jesse from New Mexico. Andrew from New Mexico. He's working on trying to earn his way up and to make the international team. So he's the underdog. He's going to need a lot of cheering. They're fighting with a weapon style called pull arm. It's anywhere from a 5-foot to a 7-foot pull with some kind of blade on the end. You guys ready? Fight! Oops, sorry. It is harder, but it also hits harder. Yeah. This is our most vicious fight. Now with that, if Patrick had been able to throw him and keep his feet, Patrick would have gotten 2 extra points. Because they both went down, nobody gets the points. It is exhausting to get thrown to the ground and have to get that 80 pounds of gear back up on your feet. So their time is still going. They're going to reset. You guys ready? All right, begin fight. Come on, Andrew.
Time's up.
Time, stop fight. Good job. Let's hear it for our two combatants. Great job. Guys, you guys are not going to make you fight another round.
Things that you fight with. Swords, sticks.
The kinds of weapons that these guys are using, there are several categories. We have swords, both short swords and long swords. Long swords means it's really two hands to hold the sword, where the short sword is just a single hand. We have pole-arm weapons, such as you just saw a moment ago, which has a long pole, 5 to 7 feet long, with some kind of blade at the end, either an axe-type blade or a spear-type blade. We have short, mid-size axes that are in use here. And occasionally you might see maces as well.
So, we have two fighters squaring off with another version of pole arm. They're fighting with great axes. We have Charles from Tucson and Micah from Texas. Fight! Like I said, in all this gear, it's hard to get up once you fall down. You kind of have to act like a turtle and rock a little bit to start rolling out of it. Got about 20 seconds left in their fight. Begin.
Get in there, get a couple points.
All right, let's give a cheer for our combatants. We have a bit of an armor failure, so we're going to have to stop it. Michael wins by default. In that last fall, he tore his knee armor off. We like our friends and don't want to damage him, so we stopped the fight. We're going to have one more single fight, and then we're going to get into our team fights. Our team fights are going to be 3 versus 3. Those are a slightly different rule set. In our team fights, it's last person standing. So you're going to see some more punching and grappling and throwing each other to the ground. Our tactics change. Our rules still remain no thrust because it's just too dangerous. In our team fights, anywhere from the ankles up they can hit, with the exception of the back of the knee and our neck. We like our friends, we don't want to paralyze them. Other than that, they can kick, they can punch, they can throw. The team with the most people on their feet at the end wins. We need one more team.
Okay.
One more pair.
One more pair? Next fight will also be a single fight. For those just arriving, we are the Armored Combat League. We do full metal martial arts. We compete both nationally and internationally. And several members of this group have been competing since 2012.
So we're going to skip our single fight and go straight into the team.
Single. One more single.
you guys have one more? Okay, never mind.
So we do have a single. Hold on, where's one?
With this, when we're fighting, there is no such thing as hitting too hard. If you watch closely, you can actually watch the dents get formed in their helmets. They're hitting each other so hard. Also, you can oftentimes see sparks coming off the helmets as the swords and axes are landing.
All weapons have dull edges and points or round ones to about the size of a quarter to make sure that we don't puncture the armor.
Up to the corner.
From that corner.
All of our gear is historically accurate. This is actually the rules on how some of the medieval tournaments were fought. And this is the padding and the gear. We had recreated the armor they had at that time.
For safety, we do allow some modern padding on the inside.
But this stuff is very hot and it's very heavy. Our padding is usually made out of wool and linen. It's kind of like if you guys are trying to work out in this heat in a winter parka. And they put 80 pounds on your back. All right, we got two new fighters out here. This is their first year starting the circuit. They're still learning the rules. From here we have Aaron from New Mexico. And Connor from Phoenix. Now, the interesting thing you have not seen yet, their shields that they have in their hands and the buckler that Connor has, they can punch each other with them. They're very hard hitting. They can punch each other in the face and the stomach, along with striking with the weapon they have in their hand. One of a good strategy is hitting them so hard they fall down because it exhausts your opponent.
Yeah, I have it right here. 30 seconds remaining there, halfway through their fight. This is exhausting work. Let's cheer them on. They got taken. Stop fight. 3 on 3s.
Good job, guys.
All right, now we're going to get into the fun stuff.
Okay, we're going to give those last guys about 5 minutes to recover. I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine. Go ahead.
And stick stick around for some basically big gang fight in armor. It'll be 3 versus 3. They'll be, hitting people from behind and from the side unawares, encouraged. The best thing that can happen is for 2 of your friends to be holding another guy while you're hitting the back of the head with an axe. So stay tuned for that. These guys got to have a little bit of rest.
The big important thing with this, there's going to be guys flying through the air. Self-preservation is a good thing for the audience. These ropes are not strong enough to stop a body flying. So just make sure you keep a wide stance away from the ropes. We're going to do our best to keep them off the ropes, but again, they can't see very well. So the most common injury is broken fingers. We do wear big steel gauntlets for padding, but your hands take a pain. Aside from that, concussions happen, because especially if you don't have a lot of padding in your helmet, and you get hit in the head so many times by an axe. Occasionally we'll have knee injuries because of all this gear, and you'll see when they're wrestling and fighting, you kind of twist and those are the most common. But usually we're getting scratched injuries. But armor works. Most of us don't even get a lot of bruises because of all the armor we have on. About 80 pounds. Yeah, the helmets alone are about 15 pounds.
Helmet in your hand. We would love if you could help support this group with a few dollars here or there. We love to entertain you, but it takes some money to get here when all this is here.
Those of us that compete internationally, this is all, we pay for this out of our pockets. We don't have a whole lot of sponsors. So all these fighters, our gear cost, the cheapest suit of armor is about $2,500. What my husband and I have on is about $8,000 worth of armor. And then on top of trying to travel and fight around, and we do compete internationally. Many of these guys have traveled overseas to Europe and have competed to represent the United States.
If any of you want, it's up over, you can come up over this way.
Look us up on Facebook, you can find a lot of information and videos. And if you want to get involved, go on to USA Night. And we can point you to your local groups.
Makes perfect sense. Explained well.
Now, in the United States, women can't fight with the guys that we choose. We have a female fight back here. I don't have much of fun. Despite her being half their size, she still wears about the same weight in armor as the rest of the guys. There's what? Anyway, we gotta go back up there. Yeah. No, you can't.
I work out like 5 to 6 days.
All right, so we have 3 versus 3. Remember, be sure to stay back away. Fighters, are you ready? All right, begin. Stop fight! We have 3 against 1.
I thought you were my team. We're the same cappers.
It's a little confusing. So when we have 3 against 1, we stop because it becomes too dangerous. And with our rules, the likelihood of you surviving that fight is much smaller. All right, so the on this side. If they win one more fight, it's over. We do best 2 out of 3. However, if these guys win, you'll get 3 fights out of this group. Ready? Fighters, are you ready?
Yes. Hold on.
Start fight.
16 pounds.
On your head. Oh my God!
It's like a bowling
On
ball.
your head.
Yeah. My entire kit weighs about 85 pounds. Yep.
Last man standing is on this side. Because they won. We're going to reset your two teams up here.
The melee rules get someone out when they get 3 points on the ground. And so, yeah, you can hit them, but it's much
These
more
fights can
effective
go
to get them on
really
the ground.
fast. Sometimes it can go really slow. There's no
You can hit them with the
time
sword.
limit.
And so
It is just until you get your opponents to the ground. Notice,
No, once
this
they're down,
is
they're
hard
done.
and hot
They're
work.
out.
Most of our fighters, especially our knights that travel internationally,
Yeah, we're not holding back. This is
about
full
an hour
force.
to 2
I don't know if you know,
hours,
I'm wearing
6
85
days
pounds
a
of
week.
armor.
This is very grueling to do this.
You
Our
don't end up with
fitness
an injury.
goals,
That's saying,
they can
the
do
average
100
injury is like a
30
fractured
minutes.
finger. Or
Our bigger
bruises,
tournaments
or
last up
a
to 3
tweaked
days.
joint,
We're
like
in
for actual
armor fighting
sleeves
for
and
about
you
4 to
really
6
don't get them very
hours a
often.
day
Very,
with
very
these
rare.
tournaments.
All of all of our armor and everything, all the rules of the game are based on safety. So that's the reason you'll see them stab them. Because no matter what, even with a blunt weapon, it's still too dangerous at full force. Because they can find the gap in my armor and stab through the cloth underneath. And we really don't want, we want to go to work on Monday.
Yeah.
Well, want to go to work on Monday.
It is for fun anyway.
But they're actually, we actually do compete internationally as well. So multiple
After
countries
this round,
have teams, and so there's a USA team.
we'll have some of our fighters come out and get the
This year's
top
past
room and get some
international
pictures.
competition, there's 20 teams, so we're actually competing on an international scale.
Kids, it'll be a
Similar
great time. We'll
to
bring
what
out
the
some of our
Olympics
stuff you
do.
can
We're
watch
trying to
tonight.
get really
It's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, that's like
You want to clear for quick? Sometimes,
After
if you
this,
notice,
we're gonna take a
like
little
some of
bit
the
of
smaller
break.
guys,
Mingle with the crowd.
their speed is a lot more too. So they're actually, it looks, it's hard to watch. There's a lot
I
of
just think
technique.
that we're starting to slow down. So we take a
It's hard to
break.
tell
What's the time?
when you're wrestling around with it.
Well, okay. Was that? Come on out, you're
It looks really brutal.
guys are already in armor.
Yeah, and that's part of the tactic is, I know a bit, as a bigger guy, I can get the small guy down quicker, so the little guy needs to know that too. So the little guy needs to run away from me, because of course he's going to be faster.
So after this one, this best 2 out of 3, our fighters are going to take a break, but they will come out. They'll talk to you. I'll have some